what was at the top of my scholarship letter? Somebody else's name. Cause let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is India. I don't think I like this video. Back again. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is India. And if you're here today, it's because you're interested in money and you want to go to college with, you know, as much money paid. And what am I trying to say? If you clicked on this video, it's because you want a scholarship. Yep, and you want to know the tips and the tricks, and you want to know all about scholarships. So yeah, let's get into it. For those that don't know, this is video 4 in my Dear Class of 2026 and Beyond series, where I basically give you everything you need to know about the college process, the application process, scholarships, you know, trying to get in, how to choose the right college, all of that. Okay, so make sure you tune in because we not done yet. This is only video number 4. But if you have not seen, is this video 3? This is video 3. This is video 3. If you have not seen my first 2 videos, my first video was an overview of the application process along with tips on, you know, how to stay ahead of the game and just things you need to know up front before you even start applying for colleges, what I wish I knew. Definitely go watch that video. Video number 2 was how I got into my schools. I applied to 7 schools and I got into all 7. If you want to know, you know, my SAT score, my essays, you know, my recommendations, what I've done as far as my resume and, you know, all that stuff, accolades, watch that video. But if you're here for the money, then keep on watching because that is what this video is about. And I know some of you probably already noticed I'm repping Morehouse today, okay? So shout out to all my Morehouse brothers out there, Morehouse 25. I'm going to FAMU, but that's okay. I'm gonna still rep all HBCUs. Anywho, let's dive into the video. I'm gonna give an overview, like I always do. So I'm gonna talk about scholarships versus grants versus loans, types of scholarships, how to obtain scholarships, EFC and FAFSA information, where to find scholarships and look for scholarships, and then how to stay motivated, organized, and then just tips on how to secure that bag. So before we even dive into this, I just want to say, when you apply for scholarships, you kind of sort of want to know where you're applying to or what schools you're thinking about applying to, because that will tell you how much you need in scholarships, okay? So just ask yourself, how much do these schools cost? If you're applying to the top 5 HBCUs, you're gonna be within that $30,000 to $50,000 range. And even just college in general, it's gonna be expensive unless you stay in state and go to a public school. So ask yourself, how much do the schools cost? And when you ask yourself that question, please look at the cost of attendance and not tuition. Tuition is how much it costs for you to take classes at that school. But that tuition does not include your room and board, which means the food that you're eating at the CAF, the nasty food you're eating at the CAF, and where you're staying, okay? So look at cost of attendance because that typically includes your room and board, your fees, and your tuition. Also with that, keep into account that those are direct costs. There are also indirect costs that come with attending college. Things like this can be transportation. So if you have to pay, which that kind of goes into fees, but like if you're bringing your car, gas is not free. That is an indirect cost. If you're going grocery shopping for college, that is an indirect cost. If you are buying clothes, that is an indirect cost. There are lots of indirect costs that come with college. So just thinking, you know, just having, you know, the cost of attendance together, you're still going to be spending at least $1,000 or so on top of that for indirect costs during college. So this stuff is expensive. So even if you have a full ride, you can still apply to scholarships because you got books, like it's stuff everywhere. So let's get into the video. Scholarships versus grants versus loan. The most simple thing I can tell you right now is that scholarships and grants are what you want and loans are what you don't want. Loan is like that very last, you know, I have no other choice, I have to, I can't afford this school, I have to. That's when you go there. But we're not going to talk about that because this video is about scholarships. Basically, the difference between scholarships and grants is that grants are typically always based off financial need, meaning based off of your family or your household income. Scholarships don't necessarily have to be need-based. They can be based off of merit. They can be based off of skill or, you know, athletics, fine arts. They can be based off of anything. So, you know, there's the main difference. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, just general statement. Apply to as many scholarships as you can because it is free money. Now, when I say free, you still have to put time in because, you know, it takes time to apply to scholarships. They say, you know, it's free money, but when you put in the amount of time you took in comparison to how much you can make working an hour at your job, it's it's very time bearing, okay? Scholarships take time, they take effort, and you know, yeah. But please apply to as many as you can because at the end of the day, if you don't apply, then you ain't getting no money at all. Nobody wants to take out a loan. People that take out loans do it because they have to, but nobody wants to take out loans. You need to be hustling to get these scholarships. And the scholarship hustle is real, but we're gonna get into that later. Now, types of scholarships. You have merit scholarships, which are based off of your SAT score and your GPA. So if you're getting a merit scholarship from an institution, it's going to be based off of your GPA and your SAT score. So just like how I said in my other videos, they don't really care about your SAT score. Well, I won't say that. They don't look as hard at your SAT score and your GPA to admit you in. But if you want a merit scholarship from that school, they're looking at your GPA and your SAT score. You also have athletic scholarships. You have fine arts, talent, or special skill scholarships, which would be like for someone that plays an instrument, for someone, I don't know, that has a special talent, or a special skill. So if you're, I don't even know. Think outside the box for that. You also have field-related scholarships, which could be scholarships for people that want to be engineers, for future doctors, for future business leaders, those type of scholarships. Then you have the same thing but through an institution, which I call departmental scholarships, which would be a scholarship from FAMU School of Business, Howard School of Business, Tuskegee School of Business. Then you have need-based scholarships, which again are based off of your household income. You have in-state scholarships, which are Hope and Zell for us, Zell Miller. The Hope Scholarship, you have to have a 3.0 GPA. Zell Miller, you have to have a 3.7 and a 1200 SAT. If you go to a public school, I'm pretty sure Zell Miller covers all of your tuition. I'm not sure how much Hope covers. If you go to a private institution, they have a specific amount that they cover, and I'm pretty sure you can look it up to see like how much they would cover for that specific school. But if you attend a private school in state, it's not going to cover the same amount it would cover as if you went to a public one. So yeah, there's that for the people that live in Georgia. Then you also have other scholarships for like outside organizations. So that could be a church, a nonprofit organization, a Greek organization. Those types of scholarships, they are out there. Let's talk about FAFSA and your EFC. This is something that is very important when it comes to applying for scholarships because this is financial aid. So scholarships and financial aid are two different things. That's why they have a financial aid office and they have a scholarship office. When it comes to financial aid, the biggest tip I can give you is to have your butt on the FAFSA website when it opens on October 1st, whether that's 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., I don't care. Be on that website and submit your application as soon as you can. And when you do, make sure either your parent fills it out or you have a parent present because they're gonna ask your parents about how much they make, a lot of tax information, their education background. They're gonna ask a whole bunch of questions, so you're gonna need a parent on hand or parents to fill it out. But please be on that website as soon as you can because it is a first come, first served basis, which means you and someone else that have the same EFC, if they submitted their application before you did, they are going to receive more money than you do because they submitted it before you did. So submit it as soon as you can. Please do not wait. Submit it on October 1st. Yeah. Next, the EFC is why we fill out FAFSA. And you have to fill it out every single year, which means your EFC can change and range every single year. Your EFC is your expected family contribution. This is basically the number that the government expects your family to contribute to your college education. Bogus, I know, but this is how they do it. So yes, it is your expected family contribution. I will try and put a picture somewhere on the screen so that you can see it. But in all essence, the lower the EFC you have, the more money you are likely to receive federally. And the more financial assistance you will receive in financial aid. The lowest EFC you can get is 0. It determines if you're Pell Grant eligible. The Pell Grant is it basically is the biggest grant of federal funding that they give to undergraduate students. If you have above a 5576, which means above a 5,576 EFC, as of now, you do not qualify for the Pell Grant, which means you aren't receiving anything in Pell Grant money. That doesn't mean you aren't going to receive financial aid. It just means you won't receive the Pell Grant. Now, if you have under a 5576, you are Pell Grant eligible. Depending upon, how close you are to that number and 0, that will determine exactly how much you get in Pell Grant or in Pell. I think if you have a 0, which is not the same, your financial aid for each school will be different. But I think the highest Pell goes is paying all of your tuition. I don't think they would pay for room and board and all that stuff. I think they'll pay all of your tuition. But again, it depends upon your EFC with how much money you will receive from Pell. But if you have over that 5576, you are not Pell Grant eligible. A lot of need-based scholarships, you have to be Pell Grant eligible. So that is a key tip right there. And one reason why I advise you to stick with the local ones, because a lot of national scholarships are need-based. They do have a lot that are merit-based too. But there are a lot of well-known ones that are need-based. If you are not Pell Grant eligible, they are not going to choose you. You'll get eliminated and you do not qualify for it. So please know up front whether or not you are Pell Grant eligible before you are applying to these need-based scholarships. Your financial aid will vary by school. I thought I was going to get the same amount of money and financial assistance for each school I applied to, but I got more financial aid from FAMU or on my FAMU application than I got on my Howard application. I got more financial aid on my Howard application than I got on my Clark Atlanta application. I got more on my Clark Atlanta application than I got for Spelman, NCAT, and Tuskegee. Like, it varies. You won't get the same amount, or at least I did not get the same amount of financial aid for each school. So if you get $7,000, $9,000 from this school, that doesn't mean you're gonna get $7,000, $9,000 from this school. You might get $2,000 from this school. So you really just have to wait until you get your financial aid package to know how much you are getting. Now, that's it for the financial aid and EFC portion. Now I'm gonna talk about how to obtain scholarships. First things first, if you don't apply, you can't obtain, okay? If you don't ask, you can't receive. So please make sure you are applying to these scholarships, because if you don't apply, then you have a 100% chance of not getting anything. With that, another way to obtain a scholarship or to give yourself the best chances at obtaining a scholarship is to have a strong essay. When you are writing these essays, please do not rush through them. Please do not half-ass them. Please write a good essay. Have someone look over your essay, have someone revise it, help you with it, because the essay is one of the main parts of a scholarship application. If your essay sucks, you're not getting a scholarship interview. You're not getting an interview for that scholarship. Why? Because your essay sucks. If you struggle with writing, then have a teacher help you. That's what teachers are there for, especially during your senior year. A lot of scholarships require you to submit your SAT, your GPA, and your SAT and your GPA. So that is why one of my major tips in my other videos was to, one, have a copy of your unofficial transcript. So ask your counselor to send you a PDF copy of your transcript, which will then be unofficial. If they require an official transcript, then you'll have to get like a paper copy and mail it to them, or have it sent directly from the school. But have a copy of your transcript on hand, because a lot of these scholarships require you to submit a transcript and you don't want to have to keep asking your counselor for it. So have a copy on hand. And that'll take care of your GPA. And then also have a copy of your SAT report, which you can print off a College Board. Have a copy of that, because a lot of scholarship opportunities require you to submit that first page where it shows what your score was. So have that on hand as well. Please apply early. That is one of the biggest tips I can give you. Why do you need to apply early? Well, apply early for scholarships and for college. Of course, the garage wants to open, but that's okay. Please apply early to colleges. Why? Because if you apply early to college, You can spend the rest of your senior year focused on scholarships. A lot of people that I know that waited until regular decision to apply to colleges didn't apply to a single scholarship. Why? Because they spent their entire first semester procrastinating, not even thinking about college applications. Then come second semester, oh, now I have to apply to college, and that's consuming their entire second semester, so they don't have time to apply for scholarships. So please, if you can apply early action, or if you can apply, you know, that December, because I think December is like when regular decision starts. If you can apply your first semester, please do, specifically early action, so you can spend the rest of your college, you can spend the rest of your senior year applying to scholarships. With that, try and apply to these scholarships, you know, closer to the open date than the closing date. So if a scholarship opens up on Tuesday, try to apply closer to Tuesday and not 2 months from now when it's 2 days before it closes. Because if you can apply now, because come senior year, especially when you get into the midst of things, that senioritis is gonna kick in and you're not gonna want to do nothing. So please try to apply to as many upfront as you can. And yeah, even with another reason why you should apply to college early is because a lot of these scholarships that are available require you to have applied somewhere, or to have, you know, proof of commitment, or even have, you know, acceptance letters, or, you know, proof that you got into schools. Some colleges require that. Some scholarships require that. So if you haven't even applied, then that means you don't even have an acceptance letter. You don't have proof of, like, you don't have any of that, which means that you can apply to those scholarships. So yeah, please, 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 please apply as early as you can. Next, I'll talk about this a little later, but this is just a general statement. Please don't get discouraged. Know that you win some and you lose some. You might lose about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them before you win one, but please don't get discouraged. I'm telling you, you're probably gonna be like, India, how you gonna tell me not to get discouraged when I'm gonna get discouraged anyway? I've been there, okay? I've been there. I've received so many rejections from scholarships, but I've also received congratulation notices, and those, you know, made up for all the rejections that I've ever gotten. So please do not get discouraged. That's just a general statement. But the last statement for how to obtain or put yourself in the best position to obtain is a lot of these scholarships require you to submit proof of a talent or portfolio or some sort of video submission. So with those, just please make sure that they are as creative as possible and they speak to who you are. Me, I'm someone who, if my name is on it, it's not going to be mediocre. It's going to be top of the line. I'm putting my all into it. And that's honestly how I won one of my scholarships. I had to submit a video and we played all the videos side by side, and you could tell which one had my name on it. Because I can't settle for mediocrity. I have to be the best of the best. And you want to have that mentality when you're applying, because if their video looks better than yours, they're gonna choose them. Yeah, like they're gonna choose them. So please make sure that when you submit that stuff, it's top of the line. Now, where to find scholarships? Before we even get there, local scholarships are your friend. Please know that. Local scholarships are where the bag is at. That $1,000 to $5,000 scholarship may not seem as good as a $40,000 scholarship, but if you get about 5 of them, you straight. You get somewhere. Because these national scholarships have hundreds of thousands of other students with better GPAs, better SAT scores, a better resume, better recommendation letters than you. These local scholarships have less people. Not many people know about them. And if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody for this local scholarship, then that's an easy passage for you to obtain that local scholarship. So the bag is at these local scholarships, not these national scholarships. Just thought I should insert that in there, but you should still apply to these national scholarships, but your main focus should be local. First things first, where to obtain. Please talk to your counselor. The counseling department at your school should have some sort of newsletter or some sort of document that has a list of scholarships. My school, we had a newsletter that came out every month, and each month it would have different scholarships on there that you can apply to, each of them being local. And some of them were like bigger scholarships, but most of them were local. Ask your counselor, talk to your counseling department. They should have a list of scholarships for you to apply to. That should be where you get them. That should be your first stop. Next, if you are applying to an HBCU, you probably heard this before. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund and the United Negro College Fund have loads of scholarships on their website. It's literally a website filled with a whole bunch of scholarships on there. Look and see if you apply. I mean, not if you apply. Look and see if you qualify and apply. But those are limited to people that are going to HBCUs. And I know United Negro College Fund, they have some of their scholarships have specific schools that you have to be attending or like be interested in attending and actually attend to be able to receive the scholarship. But all that information is on their website. But use those if you are an HBCU student because they have tons of scholarships that you can apply to. Next, local alumni chapters. A lot of people don't know about this, so I'm telling you, okay? These schools, especially if you are trying to go to an HBCU, I'm not sure about regular PWI schools, but I know for HBCUs, a lot of them have local alumni chapters. FAMU has a local Atlanta alumni chapter. Howard University has a local Atlanta alumni chapter. Tuskegee University has a local Atlanta alumni chapter. Not sure about the other schools because those were my top 3 schools, but these local alumni chapters have scholarship opportunities for students that reside in those areas. Apply to those scholarships. And a lot of students don't know about those scholarships. I actually received FAMU's Atlanta Alumni Chapter Scholarship. So please apply, like look into that, see if they have one. And when you search, just search, you know, like Howard University, Atlanta alumni. If you live in Riverdale, don't put Riverdale alumni because Riverdale is like so specific. Put Atlanta, put a city that's like known within your state, or just put your state. Next, Greek organizations. A lot of Greek organizations have local chapters that provide scholarships to students that reside within their district. When you're doing this, I personally would start with the Divine Nine because I don't really know many outside of that might have scholarships available. If you don't know what the Divine Nine are, please look it up because that's a touchy subject. I'm not going into it. Look up the Divine Nine, and then when you're searching to see if they have a chapter near you, search that Greek organization, the city chapter. So Greek organization, Atlanta chapter, something like that. These chapters have scholarships available. I've received one of those scholarships. So please look towards local Greek organization chapters within your city that have scholarships. But when you do this, a lot of local chapters have specific county regions that they serve. So if your school is not within that county, or if you don't live within that county, you won't be able to apply to that scholarship. So just pay attention when you're looking into that. Next, scholarship websites. I just wanted to put this in there. I never really trusted them. So like that scholarship.com, that collegesomething.com. I never really trusted those websites. So I personally never applied to a scholarship that was on a scholarship website. I wanted to apply to a scholarship where the website I went on was that organization's website, or you know, stuff like that. Or the only thing that was similar to that would be like Thurgood Marshall College Fund and UNCF, but I was not going on scholarship.com applying for those scholarships. No ma'am, no ma'am. Next, you're gonna have to do a lot of research. I suggest maybe taking 15 to 30 minutes out of one day of your week to research and find new scholarships to apply to. Every day there are new scholarships being open. Every week there are being new scholarships open. And every year a lot of money goes unclaimed. I'm sure you've already heard that millions of dollars, probably hundreds of millions of dollars in scholarships goes unclaimed every year. Please, you know, just take that step towards your college education and research to find scholarships. Now with that, because I want it to be helpful and because I don't want to see people struggling, because the scholarship hustle is so very real, and the whole choosing your heart over the money, I talk about that in my other videos. That is so real. I went through it. I've experienced it. I wanted to create a document for you guys, and that document has a list of scholarships and a list of links as well as tips about the scholarship process. I will have it linked below, but you know, since I'm giving that, you know, you might as well just like this video and subscribe to my channel, you know, that would be nice. But I am including that in the description below, so please check that out. It's there for you. It's free. I want to help you guys. I've been there. The scholarship hustle is real. Let me help you, please. It's there. Click on the link. So yes, there's that. But here are some scholarships that are a part of that list. It's not all of them, but it's a part of that list. You have the Bill Gates Scholarship, which is the Gates Millennium. That scholarship is need-based. If you don't qualify for Pell, you won't be able to apply for it, which I'm saying a lot of these big scholarships are need-based scholarships. And a lot of scholarships in general, they might not say they're need-based, but they're kind of sort of need-based. But yeah, the Bill Gates one is need-based. Jackie Robinson, I don't think it's need-based, but it's based off of financial need, which that sounds like the same thing. But they say like it's a case-by-case kind of thing, but it's basically a need-based scholarship. I don't know if you have to be Pell Grant eligible to apply though. You want to make sure like when you're applying to these scholarships that you're researching whether or not you have to be Pell Grant eligible, because I remember I spent so much time trying to apply to the Bill Gates scholarship and then realized I wasn't even Pell Grant eligible, which means I wasted so much time. So please know up front and research whether or not you have to be Pell Grant eligible, or whether you have know all requirements before you submit, or not submit, but before you take the time to apply to something, because you're going to end up wasting your time. So yeah, Bill Gates, Jackie Robinson, the Coca-Cola Scholars, I applied for that. I was a semi-finalist and then I got eliminated, but I made it to the top. I think it was the top 50 out of everyone in the country. So that was like a big thing. It was either top, I'm pretty sure it was either top 50 or top 150 out of everyone in the world. So that was still, a major accomplishment, but it would have been nice if I had a check with it. So, I was a little upset about that one because I made it so far, and then you're gonna go through it. It's okay. You're gonna go through it and it's okay. But don't let that stop you, because that was like, I think I figured that out in like October, and I still apply for scholarships and I'm still receiving scholarships to this day. So keep going. Next, they have the Ron Brown Scholarship. I think that's only for people in Georgia, or it might not be. I don't know. Research it. That scholarship is available, so look into that. Then you also have your school. Your school may have opportunities. So I know FAMU has a whole bunch of scholarship pools. Now, they kind of gaslighted me with that. I might talk about that in my FAMU video, but I won't even get into that. Your school may have opportunities where you can test for a scholarship, or scholarship pools that you can enter. So talk to your school, communicate, talk to the scholarship office and the financial aid office about other opportunities that they have. And then also talk to representatives from your majors department. So for me, like I said in my other videos, majority of my scholarship from FAMU is coming from the School of Business. Please talk to your school, whether it's School of Business, School of Fine Arts, School of Social Sciences, Engineering, Biology, whatever your major is. Talk to that school. Talk to the dean, talk to the recruiter, talk to an advisor, department chair. Talk to somebody in that school about the scholarship opportunities that they have, because they are available and not a lot of people know that they are available, and that's equivalent to a local scholarship, which means you are in your bag. Next is my last section, which is on staying motivated and organized. First things first, apply to college as soon as you can. Get your applications out the way so you can spend the remainder of your senior year focused on scholarships. Why? Because a lot of scholarships require you to have applied to some schools, or to have been accepted to some schools, or to be committed to a school in order to obtain that scholarship. So you want to make sure that you've already applied, or that you're, getting down to the grain on making a decision so that you can get these scholarships. Now for me, I'll give an example. I applied to FAMU Atlanta Alumni's Chapter Scholarship before I knew I was going to FAMU. So don't let that stop you, but you at least need to have been accepted into some schools for a lot of these, for not a lot, but for many scholarships, you need to have been accepted. By the time, they start narrowing people down and making a decision, you will need to have been committed. But you don't have to be committed to apply. I applied to FAMU's scholarship before I was committed. I was going to apply to Howard's scholarship, but that was taking forever. before I committed. So you don't have to be committed to apply. With that, just know when we say the scholarship hustle is real, we mean it. It is a hustle. You are going to win some, you are going to lose some, and like I said before, I'll keep saying it, you might lose a good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 before you win one, but don't let that stop you. Please don't let it stop you. You're gonna get sick and tired of applying, you're gonna get sick and tired of writing essays, you're gonna get sick and tired of submitting recommendations and all that stuff, but keep going. Let, you know, the idea of you attending your dream school motivate you to keep applying. For me, I'll just say it, that was Howard for me. I'm going to FAMU, but before I committed, my dream school, I was all about Howard. You can ask anybody. It was Howard, Howard, Howard. That is what I use to keep me pushing, because if you don't know, Howard University's cost of attendance is about $50K. So that was my motivation. I was like, I'm gonna get this $50K one way or another. It's Howard or nothing. That's where I was back then. But yeah, use the idea of you attending your dream school to keep you pushing and keep you going and applying for these scholarships. If you gotta make a vision board, whatever, put a picture of the school, do what you gotta do, but please stay motivated, because I'm telling you, I know it from experience. Senioritis hit me real hard too. Like, you're gonna get tired of doing everything, but you really have to keep pushing. Be sure to stay consistent, organized, and intentional when applying to each opportunity you find. I also created a spreadsheet for you guys to organize each of your scholarships. It's similar to what I use, but it's just something that you can use as a reference. It'll be linked in the description below. You can make a copy and then personalize it to yourself. But basically, you want to keep a list of the scholarships that you are going to apply to. You know, what's required of them, when they're due, and when they will post a decision. You want to keep, you know, tabs of that, so that you know ahead of time, okay, this week I'm applying to this one, or today I'm applying to this one, and I'll apply to this one there, then, and you just know when the due dates are. And then with that, you want to have a list of scholarships that you've received, so you can, you know, keep a tally of how much money you have. And with that, you also want to keep tally of the scholarships you've received in conjunction with how much financial aid you've received, which you won't know till about March, in conjunction with the cost of attendance for each school. I have all of that in the spreadsheet that I created for you guys. Again, I really want to help you guys. I went through it. I wish I would have had someone who had this available for me, so I'm providing it to you guys for free, free of cost. I want to help you guys. It's in the description. Click the link below and get yourself organized so that you can stay ahead of the game for your senior year. Now, please start out with a strong essay. You're gonna get so tired of writing essays, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna end up writing about 3 to 6 essays for scholarships. But let me tell you this, once you continue applying to scholarships, you're gonna end up finding opportunities that have the same essay as another one, which means that you can reuse your essays for that new scholarship opportunity. But when you do, please do not read your essay before you submit it. The last thing they want is somebody else's essay. Like, I'll give you guys an example. FAMU sent me my scholarship, what do you call it? FAMU sent me my scholarship letter. Guess what was at the top of my scholarship letter? Somebody else's name. It had my address, but it had somebody else's name. So you can only imagine how I felt. Like, so y'all gonna send me a scholarship letter and y'all aren't even gonna put my name at the top? That's the same thing for these organizations. You're gonna write a scholarship essay, but then in paragraph 3, you're gonna have a different organization's name. They're gonna eliminate you from the scholarship. So please make sure you are revising and reading your essays before you submit them, because the last thing an organization wants to see is somebody else's organization or somebody else's name, or an essay that doesn't fit who they, like, what they're, like, it just doesn't fit them. Now, with that, This is a very, very key tip, and this is something that's gonna help you with essays and when you have scholarship interviews. I did have someone. My mom really helped me with all of this, with like just interviews, because my mom is very much a professional, and like my mom really instilled a lot of professional development into me, and a part of that was interviewing processes. So key tip that a lot of people don't know or use when they're applying: please, please, please research the organization you are applying to before you write the essay, or before you revise the essay, and before you have an interview with them. Why? Because if I'm interviewing you and you don't know anything about my organization, what we're about, what we do, why would I give you my scholarship? So when you research organizations, look at their mission statement and vision statement, as well as their core values. Research that, get an understanding, and then put that into your essay. And when I say put it into your essay, make a connection between, you know, your core values and their core values, or, you know, what your goal in life is with their mission statement. Make a connection between the two, and I promise you they are going to get, like, they like that type of stuff. Next, have a copy of your recommendations on hand. Have a copy of your most up-to-date transcript on hand, and have a headshot of yourself, whether that's the headshot you took from your senior picture, which that's what I had, or if you have a headshot available, because a lot of scholarships ask for a picture and you want to make sure your picture is professional. So also have your resume. So have your resume, have a headshot, have your up-to-date transcript, have your SAT sheet that has your SAT score, and have a copy of your recommendations readily available, because you're gonna need it. And finally, stay organized. Use my spreadsheet. My spreadsheet will really help. It's in the description. You can use it, make a copy of it, and personalize it to yourself. Stay organized, stay ahead of the game. I promise you it's going to save your life. And yeah, I think that's it. We're about 40 minutes. We're about 40 minutes in. I'm sorry, but I think I dropped a lot of gems. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Next video is going to be on how to choose the right college, which is a very major, important step. So make sure you tune into that. I'll link it up here once it is created. Make sure you watch my first 2 videos on the college application process, as well as how I got into my colleges. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna stop talking because this video is long. I will see y'all in the next video, and goodbye.